Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 11 of Daily Flip. We're going to take you around, show you what I've been doing today. We're going to actually do a template car, which is actually what we do for our paid course. We're going to let you guys kind of look in on that today. It's on a 2010 Saturn Outlook. Today has been a little bit of stuff mechanically that we've been handling. We had a car that we thought was ready. If you watched yesterday, I mentioned we put out a Jaguar X-Type. I put it out on the front line, went to drive it this morning to move it, and I realized the transmission didn't feel the best. It said service gearbox in the display, so we'll walk outside and take a look at that in a minute. Actually, advanced auto delivery might show up here in just a minute, so that will be fun if that happens live. Otherwise, we're dropping the transmission fluid. We're putting in some Lucas. I'll show you what that is if you're not familiar with the Lucas transmission fix. Otherwise, we're going to look at this Outlook. We're going to look at a couple other things we've done today. We've been doing a lot of course stuff. If you go over to our YouTube channel, if you're watching live today, you'll see a video that went up about sewing fabric. So if you have a rip in your seat, you can check out that video. We also uploaded a video that showed you how to use touch-up paint and different sources that you can do that. We also uploaded a video of how you can clean the carpet inside your vehicles using household products. 409, I don't have it here in front of me or I'd grab it. 409 carpet cleaner is my go-to choice line. It smells really good and it cleans really well. You can check out that YouTube video if you'd like to see that at the Car Flip, what is it, the Car Flip? I don't know, if you search the Car Flip on YouTube, it should take you to our channel. Otherwise, just look for my face in the picture, you'll see it. We're gonna walk outside. I'm gonna show you this Saturn Outlook and go from there. So it's actually here right on the front line. Our Jaguar was over here. We just added it last night. Unfortunately, the transmission did what it did. Hopefully it's gonna be all right with the service. But this here is a 2010 Saturn Outlook. Now, what we do inside of our course, we obviously have the lessons, which is me teaching. So that's me teaching you my exact method of how to buy and sell cars for profit. We get into a lot of different things in depth inside the course, but one of the modules in there is cars that I'm currently flipping. A question that I get asked a ton is, which car should I buy? Do you like this car or do you like this car? What's the best car to buy? For me, the best thing that I thought I could do was actually show you the cars that I'm actually flipping. So the people inside the course get to see these cars and they get to see them in detail, and that's what this is right here. So every single one, I have a sticky note which has the vehicle, the miles, what I paid for it, my investment, I guess my investments I've had to make after I've purchased it, so repair items. Then I average it up, or I add it up, and I put in what I expect to sell it for versus what I have in it, and that's my projected profit. So we're gonna go over this one right now. This exact video is actually gonna go inside the course for our paid members. They're gonna have this amongst a lot of other vehicles that they can watch and just see over my shoulder so that they can take these exact vehicles in their markets and know if they buy them at a similar price for what I did, they can expect to have a similar profit margin that I do. So this is a 2010 Saturn Outlook. It has 172,000 miles, which is a lot, but I only paid $2,900 for it. And actually, we'll walk over. I got the keys right here. As I open this door, my remote has been working some and not others. I think I may need a battery. There we go. If you look inside, it's leather interior. It does not have the navigation. A lot of these do. But it does have, if we actually look up in the rearview mirror, you can't see it now, but when you put it in reverse, it has the backup camera that pops in that. We've got third row. I'll unlock it. We'll look in the back. We've got the full bench here. We've got third row in the back. This seats 8 people total. It's decently clean. It still needs the final detail. My guy on Saturday will be doing that, so we've not finished that completely. It's got the remote start on the remote. It also has the power lift gate in the back, which will open just like this. SUVs with third rows generally for me have sold very well, as opposed to ones that don't have third row. This would be something that a family could use, or even someone that doesn't need the seating. They still could be interested because most of these have an option where you can just throw the seats down, such as that. So this is a very versatile vehicle. Now, the Saturn Outlook is something you might not be familiar with, and that's partly because Saturn doesn't actually manufacture any vehicles currently. They've closed down as a company. But this is the exact same vehicle as a Saturn, or as a GMC Acadia, a Chevrolet Traverse, Buick has the Enclave. They're all the exact same vehicle. The rear, hashes are different, the front ends are different, the doors are about the same, the interiors are almost identical. So this is the exact same thing as a GMC Acadia, The great thing about one of these is if you look out at our road frontage here, we have a lot of traffic. People that ride by and see this don't necessarily know that this is a GMC Acadia, or they don't know that this is a Saturn Outlook. They probably think it's a GMC Acadia. They stop in and say, oh, it's an Outlook, and then I get the opportunity to sell. So for me, a vehicle like this with road frontage is ideal because you could put a price like $59.50. Actually, currently I'm asking $69.50. I'm just testing the waters to see what kind of hits I get. I've had a couple of people interested already. So I'm just kind of shooting high. I may eventually lower down to $59.50. It'll be a quick sell this time of year's tax time. But this is a great third row vehicle that's nice, has a lot of the options people like. And so for me, I paid $2,900. I had to spend $48.65 on a CV joint. What a CV joint does, it's actually, we're not gonna be able to see it, but coming out of the transmission, this is a front wheel drive vehicle, so out of the transmission comes into our wheel hub assembly here. It's what gives us the power to go. So if you ever turn the wheel and you hear a clicking noise, when you turn left or right, that generally is a CV joint. I'm gonna push a button on my phone here because it says I have low battery. So that's generally what that is. They're usually not the most expensive. Mine on Amazon was $48.65. I also had to buy a water pump. Now a water pump, I will actually show you while we're here on the video. I think we'll be able to see it if you. We had a water leak, and actually I say all of that, you're not going to be able to see it, but a water pump is actually right down here. One thing that we definitely need to do is a engine detail. It's a whole nother video, but right down here, you can't see it. We had a water leak on this side of the car. The water pump was on this side of the car. We got it up on the lift. We looked under it. It was leaking right out of the water pump. I paid $24.19 on Amazon. Now, both of these, if you had went to Advanced Auto Part, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever auto parts store you'd like, they would have been significantly more expensive. Both of these are ones that I was able to increase my profit margin on because I spent less on the parts on Amazon's where I bought these. We're actually gonna walk a little closer to our building. For those of you watching later on YouTube, we just lost our signal for our Facebook feed. So we're gonna back it up. Maybe we can reconnect there so they can join back in, and we are back live there. So I spent the $48.65, $24.19, then I spent $200 having the hood painted. There was a spot in the hood where the clear coat had faded, then it had spread, so my hood didn't look very good. That cost $200 to have that sanded down and repainted. That brings my total investment of the $2,900 plus my costs that I paid to $3,172.84. I'm expecting to get at least $5,500 for this. Again, I have it priced at $69.50 right now. That is honestly overshooting it a little bit, but this time of year, tax time, it's a very competitive market, especially for nice vehicles like this under $7,000. So if I don't get any serious interest in the next 5 to 6 days, I'll probably drop that down to $59.50. I know it's gonna sell fast at that price point, but if someone expresses serious interest, it gives me more margin for profit, so I'm gonna test the waters there. I put as my projected sales price $5,500 just to be fair. If I sell it for $5,500 with my $31,72.84 as my investment, that gives me a projected profit of $2,327.16. So that gives me a little bit of margin even below that if I want to hit my $2,000 goal for sure. That's my goal on most cars that I flip. That's my average. It's 2,000 plus for everything that I sell. So I definitely have plenty of room to do that, even if I only get $5,500 for this. So that is the 2010 Saturn Outlook. So for those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook Live right now, what you just saw was exactly what the people inside of our course would do. They'll have a link to click for 2010 Saturn Outlook. They'll be able to watch that exact same thing you just saw inside the course, and there's multiple different ones. Actually, a lot of the cars, we just shot one the other day for this Volkswagen Rutan. We just shot one for the, I believe, the Ford Explorer. We still have a few more to do. Most cars that I'm doing are going to make it into that list so that they have something to go off of when they're just getting started out, because they might not understand the markets and understand pricing. It gives them basically like a benchmark that they can look at to know what's what. So that was a car flip template. Now we're going to get into a couple other things that we have going on, things that are close. My wife is calling me on my watch. I will not answer that on the show. Our Chrysler 300 here today. We are really close, hopefully, to having that fixed. We found out that we have a cracked rim. Unfortunately, we've had a tire that's been leaking down slowly, so we've got to figure out exactly how to fix that, how to handle that. I've never had this issue. We have these big 20s. I don't want to pay something astronomical to have it fixed, so we're going to see if we can figure that out ourselves. we put an oxygen sensor in it. When we bought this car, we didn't buy it, we actually got it as a trade-in. When the guy traded it in, it had check engine light. It went back to the Bank 2 exhaust system. It potentially could be a catalytic converter. Somebody has welded in a converter and it didn't look to be the best job. They didn't have it spaced correctly with the oxygen sensor. So we just replaced the oxygen sensor today. We're hoping for the best. It was $30. If it's not the right oxygen sensor, we're gonna take it out, clean it up, and send it back to Advance. If that's the case, we'll then need to order a direct fit catalytic converter, which luckily from a labor standpoint isn't that difficult. It's just a matter of unbolting it from the engine, and then it actually about midway through the car, it disconnects, so we can just take it out, put the new one in. That should take care of our issue, but we're crossing our fingers, hoping this oxygen sensor is gonna take care of it. So I'll know maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna drive it this evening, so maybe in tomorrow's Daily Flip, I can fill you in on what happened there. Otherwise, we gotta get our rim fixed. This Mercury Montego is gonna be going in tomorrow. We have a rear wheel bearing going on it. Our brakes are a little bit soft, so we're gonna be checking that out. Our AC should be good. That was I think in yesterday's Daily Flip, we put some Freon in that. So that one should be good. This one here, this Ford Explorer, even though it's on my front line, the AC wasn't blowing as cold as I would have liked it to. Turns out it needs an AC compressor. That was only $45 from a salvage yard about 50 miles from me. Luckily they delivered to me because I'm a dealer. We have a shop when you have your dealership or automotive garage. Junkyards will deliver to you, so you don't actually have to drive to them. So that was $45. Let's see what else is going on tomorrow. Our truck over here, actually the hood's up if you see this Silverado. This has been one we've been working on. What did we do today? We put a thermostat in it yesterday. We had an overheating issue. I drove it, it felt really good. My mechanic drove it, it felt really good. I let it idle in the parking lot today and had the AC on just so it would draw as much of a load as it could, and it started to overheat again. So we're kind of digging back into that to see what's going on. Maybe we have a blocked radiator, something. When this issue persists, that's when you start thinking, is it a head gasket? What problem could I have? That's the last holdup other than needing a blower motor resistor, which we have not done yet. Otherwise, that's the majority of what's going on here in the near future. Our BMW on the side over here needs a catalytic converter. That's probably a job for Saturday, maybe Monday. We ordered that. Have a wreck over here, I don't know, something with a horn. I'm very easily distracted. So we have a catalytic converter ordered for that one. Otherwise, those are vehicles that are really close. We have in the very back, you can't see it, we won't walk back there. We have a Mercury Mountaineer that's gonna be probably in either Friday or Monday. I thought I had a notification on Facebook. I don't, I'm gonna get that go away. So we're gonna have that coming in for a wheel bearing. We're waiting on a seat motor for the third row seat. It's been a pain to locate. But those are things that we have going on soon, not to mention, which I mentioned over and over again, as in our daily flips, we're waiting on the engine for this one. So we have several cars that are really close to going out. Hopefully our Jaguar, we'll actually walk back and look at that before we finish up this episode. And again, I need to clean my desk. Actually, speaking of, we're walking through it, reminded me, it was really cool today. We actually had someone that follows us on YouTube, actually came by, stopped in and visited today. That was really cool. It's the second person we've had come by that actually found us. So she stopped in, we talked to her, and her husband are actually looking at doing their own thing full time. He currently welds, and I'm horrible because I'm forgetting their names. What, do you remember their names? Amanda. Amanda, if you're watching this, or if Amanda's husband is watching this, sorry, we can't remember your name. Nameless husband. But we're incredibly glad that you guys are following us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it is you're watching. I think it's YouTube. But it was awesome meeting Amanda today. And but I was actually telling them, just with his experience, for those of you that are mechanically minded, this type of business could be incredibly beneficial for you because you have that knowledge that a lot of folks don't. When they go to look at a car, they don't know what they're looking at. So that's something that you could definitely capitalize on. But we're out here to look at a Jaguar, which looks like we just got our fluid in. This is Rob, the man that keeps all these cars going and gets the ones going that probably shouldn't be. We're actually putting in this is a Dex Mercuron full synthetic. This is what Advance told us would fit this Jaguar. It had a really weird type of fluid that it called for. We called Advance, they looked it up for us. So we are hoping for the best. We're dropping the fluid, adding new. We added some Lucas.
Haven't done that yet.
We haven't done the Lucas yet, so we're going to add in the Lucas. Hopefully that's going to help our transmission come back to life and not give us our service gearbox. supposed to be a British car. I guess that's the way they do it. It isn't really a British car because Ford bought them. So anyway, hopefully our service gearbox light doesn't come back on and we start shifting properly. So these are the issues sometimes you run into. You think you have a good car, you think everything's perfect and you're feeling great, and then all of a sudden something like this pops up. So sometimes you kind of got to go backwards a little bit before you can get back going ahead. But that's what's going on today. We'll fill you in tomorrow with what happened with our Jaguar, and maybe we'll have good news. Hopefully we have good news. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow.